Welcome back to Word Blindness, Dyslexia Exposed. This is Juliet Hahn here with my co-host Brent Sopel on a snowy Chicago Monday.
Yes, it was interesting, and as Lila said the first time she saw snow, who spilt the milk? And I think Kiva thought the same thing when she woke up and walked out the door, or looked to walk out the door yesterday morning.
Who spilled the milk? I love that. That's actually really cute. And I think you've said that before. And it's like little kids from a little kid's eyes, right?
I lived in Vancouver, so, in Seattle, same weather. So we really never seen snow. It was always raining. And then so she never snow. Summertime. So it took her a few years to see that snow.
Now that's all you guys have. You got a lot of snow. I mean, everyone's like, actually Penelope was like, it's snowing? That's crazy. And it was like, it's not, honey. It's November. It's actually... Like that's what it does there. And we were in Rochester and it was like so much rain, but it was like icy because it was cold there, But we're not
Rochester,
here
New York
to talk about. I did not get the dinosaur barbecue, by the way. We didn't have time because of the drive, but I was like, you're not even listening to me.
Elizabeth texted me, this weekend. I said, don't forget about, when there are a lot of hockey teams that are in town in a massive tournament. And remember Mitch from Cincinnati? They're in town. So I went and see them, and obviously one of the kids are dyslexic star. They're homeschooled, so so they were there. Saw them for a couple minutes, but there's a couple other ones. But after the game, one of the parents comes over, Brent, just want to really thank you for what you've done. Because I've spoken to the kids, a number of times, become friends with them, even though they're in Ohio. Mitch comes over chit-chatting, and the dad goes, my son's dyslexic, so I really resonated. And Mitch is standing next to us, who's the head coach, who we talk about dyslexia and how to coach kids all the time. She goes, I didn't know that. He goes, yeah, he's homeschooled, couldn't make it in, in mainstream school and public school. So Mitch is like, why didn't I know that? We talk about this stuff all the time. No, so if I didn't go, that would have never probably opened up all year long, because that's not a conversation that you have with people. But even Mitch is so open about it. That's, some of these stories with some of these kids. And he's like, what? I don't know. Just another story, another topic. Nobody even talking about it, even if you have it, and even with some of the people that are open about it.
Mm-hmm. And that's where, stories connect us. I say that all the time. I haven't said this in a very long time, but that's what I embody. That's what I'm about. And it is really true. And thinking about that text that we also got this weekend, that I was like in tears, because I was like, I'm so happy that our story is able to help someone get past the shame and the confusion and the anger. And that's why we do this. This is why we get on here. We're vulnerable. We talk about things. And I'm going to read something. And I'm sweaty already because I've looked at it and I'm like, I, first of all, don't think I'm going to be able to track this. But I want to preface that we don't sit here and bash other organizations. We say, why are things done this way? But we are not here to, I don't want to say bash, because we definitely have talked about, we're not here to say we're better than you. That's
no.
That's what I want to say. We're never to say this. However, when you're an organization that's 70 years, that's helping dyslexics, and if anyone's listening to this that is a big fan of IDA, I would love IDA International. I would love for them to talk about it, because I am so confused. And it goes back, it actually, when the new definition came back and everyone's like, this is so great. This is so great. And I went to read it and I was like, okay, I had to read it 30 times. I still don't know if I comprehended it. First of all, the way it's formatted, the text, there's so much wrong with it. And it brought me back when Montgomery was diagnosed. And this is, before I read it, everyone sent it to me. This is where you need to go. This is where you need to go. And I remember going to the website and then being like, maybe I'm too stupid because I don't understand. And I feel really alone and feel really shitty. And it's probably before I was like, okay, I am truly dyslexic, but it was like, okay, I learned different, right? And it was a really hard time. And then having this website that everyone was like, this is where you need to go. You'll learn everything you need. And I couldn't comprehend or understand it. Every time I opened it, I felt so overwhelmed and so on my own island. And again, felt really dumb and was like, I'm really dumb. You said something, and I actually was not going to bring this up. And I'm like, oh, you said it twice now. And I've never said it out loud. But Megan, my sister, when Bradley was getting diagnosed, I was like, okay, he got diagnosed with dyslexia. And when we were going, and you're going to be like, I can't believe you never said this. And I could get choked up because I was like going to tell you after the recording, but I'm like, no, it's actually, this is why we do this. When we were getting Montgomery diagnosed, there was a part that I stopped because I was like, fuck, what if he doesn't have dyslexia and he's just not smart? And because that's how I always felt. And I remember the relief that I got. And I know I've never said this to you because I kind of just like shoved it because I was like, oh, and so whatever. And I felt like that for a long time because I wasn't diagnosed at an early age because it was just like you struggle to read, but you're just dumb. And you just recently brought it up again because that mom in Ohio, when we had this conversation with someone over the weekend, you said it again.
Yeah,
it like gut punched me in a different way. And I was like, fuck, okay, I think I need to deal with that and talk about that. And it was, and I never wanted to say, because I knew Montgomery was smart, but I was like, well, maybe he's not dyslexic smart because those people are supposed to be really, really smart. And I remember waiting for the diagnosis and then being so fucking relieved that I was like, but this website didn't help me. It actually made me feel worse. And I want to say that, and it's not, again, a bash to them, but it is a bash because we talk about that if you don't have dyslexia and you're trying to tell us how to feel and how to think and what we should do, you're missing the mark most of the time. And I'm sorry. I was not planning on that at all. When we were driving home from Rochester, I was listening to something and I was like, fuck, I need to talk about that. Cause after we got actually the text and I was like, I need to talk about that because I didn't. And I never wanted to say those words out loud because I never, first of all, wanted Montgomery to be like, wait, you actually, because I was panicked. Oh, it's going to be, because I was told that you're not dyslexic because you're just not smart enough. And it's a really shitty fucking feeling.
And that's, I'll preface, kind of the story. We had a call with somebody last week who said, who sent us a pretty meaningful thank you. He's in his mid-60s and just started talking about dyslexia 6 months ago.
Because of you.
So to kind of fill in some of the blanks in that story, and there'll be a day where he can tell it and the whole story. We'll have him on here, in his way, but the shame, the what if I am, or what if I wasn't, is a hamster wheel with more than one hamster on there all day long. And, that's, and why you got, into that, story as a parent that's in your head and your approach to it. So you're approaching for information. First off, your brain's moving fast. So you're not really focused. Because now you're worried about your kid. Is there something wrong with my kid? So you're already going to miss, let's just say, quarter of the information just because you're a parent, you're worried, Then you go to click on something where you're talking about the brain, where you can't see it, doesn't make sense to you because our brains are different. On a page, you got to put that into, I take it out, how I always say is take it out of doctor terms. I don't know those doctor terms. That's how you have to feed the information to the people. And then the people, whoever that may be, a teacher, or a grandparent, or grandma, or a mom or dad looking for information, and that's what you didn't get at IDA.
Right. Mhm.
and then put you down further, right? Now you're missing more information that could be out there for you. It's just, this is how the body reacts. This is how it goes. It doesn't. The more confusion you get a parent, less information. You've got to keep it simple. And they're missing the mark by classifying the new definition for dyslexia. First off, dyslexia's been around over 100 years. This IDA has been around for 70, and we still don't know anything about dyslexia. That doesn't make too much sense. Then you got the website onto there. It clearly tells us whoever's on the top isn't dyslexic.
Kiva agrees
Plain
with you.
simple. Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it's, again, coming from theories, not live experiences. And even me, like, just sitting here thinking that I can't believe I said that out loud. It's uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable. And I've done so much work in, obviously, the space on myself, but it's that protective mom mode.
Correct.
That right now, for whatever, I think it's the stars and the moons, but we'll leave it at that. I have that where it's like, okay, your kids are getting older and parents can say, all you want to do is just, you don't want them to hurt like you've gone through hurt, but you know that hurt also got you where you are. So it's this weird feeling, but like, it sucks. It sucks. And it's like, you go to a place because you're like, this is what people are telling me to do. And it's not feeling right. It's not working. And it makes me feel worse. And this is where then talking about the self-awareness, where you have to be like, if someone tells you to do, and you go to this website and you're like, something doesn't feel right, find other information. Don't make yourself feel shit that you're not connecting with this. Cause that's what I did. It was the same with like sleep training with your babies, right? I didn't sleep train, and everyone told me what a failure, and that my kids were going to, oh, you shouldn't do that. But I didn't innately want to. I was like, that's not good. And now all the studies coming out that it's actually really bad. It's
no idea what you're talking about.
I know. So don't worry about it. Sleep training, you let your kid cry it out is what, as moms, we were told we should do. And I was like, never letting them cry it out. I'm going to
keep her right now. Let her cry it out. You're not going outside.
She wants to go play in the snow. But it's the same thing. We have to, that's where we need to be like, so aware of ourselves. And it's really hard when you're in this world. And so I'm going to read this, and I think I can put it up so you guys can see if you're on YouTube. I mean, I have to like take my long dagger.
50 lines.
Yeah. I gotta take my finger and go across. Like, this is going to be painful. And I just want everyone to realize that, because I'm sure that, and I'm nervous doing this because I also didn't read it before, which normally I would have read it a million times. So it would have flowed. And this is going to be raw, and you guys are going to hear it, and I'm going to do it. So this is what came out October 22nd, 2005, and it's adopted by the IDA Board of Directors. Just leave it there. Let's see. I don't, whatever. For more detailed content, please visit. And then they tell you the explanation, and I will show you that afterwards, which then it talks about it's in consensus project remains available for 2002. Did I say that right?
2000 to 2020?
No, 2002. That's it. 2002. Too many zeros in there. Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay. So dyslexia is a specific learning disability. I mean, you can see my hand is like shaking. If anyone was on this side and could feel my energy, I'm like a fucking wreck right now, knowing that I'm reading this. Okay. Dyslexia is a specific learning disability characterized by difficulties in word reading and or spelling that involve accuracy, speed, or both, and vary depending on the orthography. These difficulties occur along a continuum of severity and persist even with instruction that is effective for the individual's peers. The cause of dyslexia are complex and involved combination of genetics, neurobiological, and environmental influences that interact throughout development. Underlining difficulties with phonological and morophonological processing are common, but not universal. And early oral language weaknesses often foreshadow literacy challenges. Secondary consequences include reading comprehension, problems, and reduced reading and writing experience that can impede growth in language, knowledge, written expression, and overall academic achievement. Psychological well-being and employment opportunities also may be affected. Although identification and targeted instructions are important at any age, language and literacy support before and during the early years of education is particularly effective. Now, fuck
Great job.
you.
Great job. Great job, rating. And a great job with the fuck yous.
Thank you.
Because I got harsher words for them than that.
And then this is where they send you if you want more information. Now, how the fuck? And I'm going to say it again. I'm sorry, because I know if maybe a teacher wants to use this or learn, I'm sorry, but that angers me so much because it first of all brings me back to when I went to go find information and learn, and I'm not comprehending any of that. There's stuff in there that I also don't think is correct, but I'm not going to. I don't know because I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to disagree with some of what they even changed. That is supposed to be where, okay, they do teachers training. They have a couple other things. And I would love someone to send this to someone on IDA. Please send this to all the board members and have them come and call us and talk to us, because I would love to know who decided that this is a good idea. It's someone that's sitting there that's thinking, oh, I'm going to be up on my pedestal and telling people what they need to learn and literally parents. And then there's a parent fucking handbook and a parent area. No, it is, especially most of the parents, okay, go ahead. I'm so angry right now, and I was having a really good morning.
Oh, all right. Now I'm going to backtrack. This is, I think it's in conjunction or whatever the word was the IDA board members.
Oh, at the bottom when I first read. Yeah.
Yep. So let's go back to give profits to everybody here. Dyslexia obviously is the second most common thing in the world. Next to cancer, and there's heads of cancer wards and hospitals and research. There's headquarters running things there. There isn't for dyslexia. So who in God's green earth gave the red carpet to IDA to make definitions and change definitions, and clearly ran by doctors or whatever it is, because I don't even remember what the definition started with. I had to go think every word for word to hear the word, to understand the word. Then I forgot the first word. So I can't even tell you how you opened up reading that. You did a great job. I wouldn't have finished it. But yeah.
Well, and the definition itself, but the way they display it, it's not for a dyslexic person. Period.
100%. Your best business is you're targeting every single person in the world, right? And now if you go and take away a huge portion or 50% of your business by doing something differently, is that smart business? That's what they're doing.
Right.
And
it's not dyslexic friendly.
This weekend, Elizabeth went to see her sister, and they went to an event. And there was I'll leave some of the names out. She's there with her sister. there's an interview going on with this famous gentleman. You'd know, everybody would know it if I said the name. But so he's getting interviewed, and he's talking, and says something that catches her ear. A couple minutes later, it's like, I like to work construction. I think when I was younger, I'd work with my hands. She turned to her sister and said, he's dyslexic. She's like, what are you talking about? Sure enough, Googled it. And it was. They walk outside. The event's over. Have a great time. Not 2 steps outside, she looked at Elizabeth. How on God's green earth did you know that? Like, you knew before, stop lying to me, tricking me, right? So in that story, you've got the person who can't believe she knew he was dyslexic without saying he's dyslexic. The nuances, the little things that we live every day that is forgotten. That's who's creating the definition.
Right.
For the person who knew he was dyslexic. She's not dyslexic, but she's married to one, so she now understands the nuances. But the person who had no clue how she figured it out is the person who's writing the definitions for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me how that makes sense.
Right. And it's because of her listening to you and seeing you. Right. And it's, and I'm going to read something when it says, when you look at dyslexia through the lens of lived experiences, not theory, you understand how deeply it impacts every day. And just think of that. It's how it impacts us every day. And then someone goes to say, oh, we can help you, dyslexic person, come to our website. And then you feel dumb because you're like, I can't understand any of this. How is that supposed to be helping?
Again, theory.
Yeah, go ahead.
30 people.
Yeah.
Stay in your own lane is what you're going to say.
I was going to say, stay in your own fucking lane. Get out of the parent. I'm not talking about the Sopel Foundation but I'm talking about get out of the parent's lane. You don't know what you're doing and you're making it worse. Yet there might be a mom or dad that's not dyslexic and their kid is, and they can go and they're like, oh, interesting. But 1 in 5, and it's hereditary. A lot of times it's going to be one of the parents and you're making that parent feel absolute shit. And I would say, I'm not going to go into the statistics because I'm not doing that, but stop acting like, and then it's all on LinkedIn, all this PhDs. Oh, look, we changed. Isn't this great? And I remember I said to someone, like, it's not great. Did you read it? And they were like, oh, well, no, I thought it was like a good thing and I'm like, no, read it and tell me that you can, did you lose your space in that paragraph? Like the space, everything to it, everything down to the way the letters are smushed together. It is torture. So it's not even like someone
and color.
Everything, right? It's like someone was like, hey, let's fuck with the dyslexics and pretend like we can be in their sandbox. It is down to everything. The way that they have the website laid out, the way the paragraphs are, everything is not dyslexic friendly. And even if there's dyslexic people on their board, if they call it and they say it, you guys are not being honest, because if you can fucking wade through that, then I would love to know when you were diagnosed and how you've worked through it and all of these different things. But the majority of the people are not fucking getting through that. And you're feeling shit afterwards.
And, and we're getting through it, okay, is 1, and retaining it is 2, and 3 is understanding it. I didn't get through all 3 of those. Any of those 3, I should say.
No, there's parts. I mean, first of all, like the words you use, like F off. It's like, oh, and I was just going to say something, and I'm not. Oh, I was just going to go. Nope.
You got a lab coat on and your pocket protector.
I was going to say I'll say it later. I'm not going to say it, but it's. I think it's egos. I don't even think it's lab coat and pocket protectors. I think it's a bunch of fucking egos that are like, let's be this. And I had to saying, and I'm not going to say it. But.
I know. I've said it many times. I've I met, billionaires and millionaires and all these guys. They've got less of an ego than the people that play in this sandbox. And I think I'm insane by saying that. They're doing great things. They're helping. Nope.
No. No. And I think we can leave it there because I have a lot more to say, but
Right.
I would like this to be brought to someone from IDA, and I would love to get into conversation, and I will listen openly because I am a reasonable human, for the most part. Don't make that face. But I would love someone to come and give me the explanation of who decided this was a good fucking idea.
Right.
Okay. Like, rate, review, and share, please. We'll see you for another episode of Word Blindness Dyslexia Exposed.